Have you ever thought about the coffee bean and what it has to go through to become this refreshing beverage that Americans drink every morning? Our thought of the week, the coffee bean. When you consider the long, arduous process that a coffee bean must go through before it can become that refreshing cup of coffee, it's hard not to compare the coffee bean to what many Christians go through as Jesus develops them and the long process that they go through in order to become profitable to the ministry of Jesus Christ. 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 and 7 says, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ." Much like the Christian, the coffee bean must go through fiery trials before it is actually found unto praise and honor. The coffee plant is actually a small tree or a shrub that produces a fruit known as a coffee cherry. The coffee cherry is picked, and then, of course, it is stripped of all of its skin. It's stripped of all of its pulp. Then the bean, which is actually the seed of the cherry, is laid out in the hot sun so that it can be dried. After the bean is milled and then exported to wherever it is going, you have what looks like a green coffee bean or a green coffee seed. It's then ready to be roasted. After being roasted, however, it is still not ready, as it then has to be ground into what we know as coffee grounds. After that seed is ground up, and then it is placed in a filter or some kind of packaging like what we know as K-cups. It is still not found unto praise and honor. It is still not a cup of coffee because it's got to go through another scorching trial. And that is when that scalding hot water is poured over those grounds and poured into that cup, which makes for us that refreshing cup of coffee. That's good stuff. You know, I am so glad that the coffee bean has gone through all the trials that it's gone through, that it went through the roasting, and that it went through the scalding hot water, so that it could become, to me, and to many other Americans, very pleasing. So the next time that you are tempted to complain about the hardships, perhaps the trials that God is allowing you to go through, remember that wonderful cup of coffee in the morning. How pleasing it is to you, and how pleasing eventually you are going to be to God the Father. Don't forget that we stream all our services live, beginning with our Wednesday evening service at 7 o'clock. If you have a prayer request that you would like added to our permanent Wednesday prayer list, you may email Sarah Sargent at slsargent82@gmail.com. Again, slsargent82@gmail.com. For temporary prayer requests that you'd like added to our live stream Wednesday, you can email Scott Ackerman at scott.ackerman.pdx@gmail.com. That's scott.ackerman.pdx@gmail.com. I want to give a special thanks to our very own Long Bottom Coffee in Hillsboro for donating our props this morning. If you want a good, refreshing, smooth cup of coffee, you can't go wrong with our very own Long Bottom Coffee. Be sure to subscribe to the Corridor Baptist Church YouTube channel for updates and new videos.